This is Terry Kurtz online reporting on Victor Valley, High Desert, and Mojave River Valley events, activities, entertainment, sports, and history.
This is the time of year we hear many a spooky story about ghosts and the supernatural. Well, there was a lot of spooky stuff going on at Kemper Campbell Ranch during the filming of Tales of the Frontier's Secrets.
The house seems to have its ghosts and its spirits, or has this energy about it.
The grandmother's been seen here. She passed a long time ago.
She made it very clear that this is her house.
A member of the crew felt various feelings, a presence, something that was strange.
When episode Secrets, Scenes of Tales of the Frontier were filmed at Kemper Campbell Ranch, did Grandma Kemper Campbell and the ranch itself have some secrets of their own?
Kemper Campbell Ranch has quite a few secrets. Upon arrival here, I walked through the front door. I knew that the five of us that came through, we weren't alone at the time. We did a tour through a couple of the downstairs rooms, and I stopped Laura Campbell, the co-owner of the Campbell Ranch, who was giving us the tour. And I asked her, I actually interrupted her, and I said, Miss Campbell, let me ask you a question about this place. And she looked at me and she said, yes. I said, who's here? And she smiled and she knew what I was getting at. And she says, why? And I said, because I know we're not alone. And I said, it's nothing bad. I go, I feel peace. It's at peace what I feel. She told me a story about the grandmother. The grandmother's been seen here. She passed a long time ago. And I had a real peaceful feeling about that, but I knew that we weren't alone. There's a couple areas here that I can't go to. After I spoke with Miss Campbell, she took us upstairs to do a tour of the upstairs bedrooms that we're going to be shooting in. And I was drawn out onto this balcony that's sitting right up above us. And there's a little tiny door, and I was drawn to it, and I was drawn to it. And as I got closer to that door, I knew what I felt inside, and I couldn't go any further. I explained to some of the people that were there what I felt. I had told Miss Campbell the same thing. I said, this is what I'm feeling. It's not a good feeling like I felt downstairs. And she agreed, and she said, most definitely, there's a lot of people that say that. They did open the door, people walked in, and I tried to get in and to get into that room, and I just could not do it. There was something keeping me out of there.
The most challenging one for me was a scene we were shooting near the fireplace here at Kemper Campbell Ranch. It just, the house seems to have its ghosts and its spirits, or has this energy about it that, there's no explanation for things like that. But that particular spot we were shooting in was so uncomfortable, you couldn't remember your lines, and it was so uncomfortable. I was so agitated when we finished that scene, and there was nothing to have agitated me. It was just, that was probably the one scene that was the hardest scene, and I can't even tell you why. It just felt very uncomfortable, and it wasn't the scene or the shooting, it was just where I was sitting. Something was very uncomfortable about it.
We came back a couple weeks later and started filming, and my AD and myself were going into one of the lower downstairs back rooms, and as we walked in, I had a bag of makeup sitting on a shelf. It was a perfectly flat shelf, and the makeup was pushed all the way to the back. I know it was like that because I personally did that. I didn't want anybody to bump it, and I was also trying to hide it so it wouldn't disappear, and I knew where I left it. As we walked up the stairs, I heard a crash, and I looked, and my makeup was on the ground, and my AD says, wow. He goes, I just got chills. He goes, I'm not scared. He goes, but I just got the chills. And as I got closer to the makeup bag, there was a very, very, very cool spot in this area that you can actually stick your hand in, feel it, and pull it away, and you feel the room temperature, and you go back in. I was amazed.
First of all, Michelle, do you believe in ghosts?
No, not really. I'm just telling you what happened.
Okay, folks, I'm going to take you into the back storeroom of the Kemper Campbell Ranch kitchen area. Yesterday, we made some provisions to have my craft services woman, Michelle Easterwood, stay the night here because we had a really early start today. She was here about 12:30 last night preparing today's meals in the kitchen when she heard a crash in the back room. She paid no attention to it. She came back in and tried to figure out what it was. If you come with me this way, what she ended up finding was her cleaning supplies bucket on the ground. Now, she ended up going back in the kitchen and dismissed this. kind of weighed on her a little bit. She came back in and realized, had it fallen off of the stool, it would have been down here. It was actually out here, and all the supplies were away. So she ended up just cleaning everything up and went back to cooking. Now, if you come back with me this way, there was a Eubank coffee can sitting right here on top of this, okay? And this is the exact can. The can is empty, okay? It was sitting here. Michelle continued cooking, and all of a sudden she hears another crash and comes in here. And I want to show you something. This is where it was sitting. I'm going to go ahead and drop this and show you exactly what will happen to it. That's pretty much what it's going to do. It will fall and stay within this area. And I will do it one more time. When this morning, Michelle was explaining to me everything that happened. We found this coffee can approximately 3 feet away, sitting right here. Now, to show you what it would take to get that coffee can over there, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little sample. There's no way it's going to get from that point to that point without some force going across. She finally got spooked enough. She said that she felt kind of her welcome was worn out here.
I just kept saying that whatever it was not in the kitchen, because it felt good there, and I had a good time, and it's a beautiful place, and I was really excited about spending the night, and all of a sudden everything was not okay.
It was almost like somebody was telling her, that's it, it's time to go. So she said, I'm going to start packing up, and she is speaking verbally. I'm going to start packing up, I'm cleaning up. She came here into the kitchen, she opened this door here, and again, everything is the way it was. She opens this door here, she goes to put a tray in, and she got scared to death because while she had her head in here, something smacked the backside of that door. She happened to be on the phone with her daughter because she was so spooked. She screamed. The daughter says, what's the matter? She said, that's it, I'm out of here. Left, didn't shut lights, just left. I woke up to a text this morning that said, the kitchen is definitely haunted. I wore out my welcome. I'm going back home. I will explain in the morning. And that's the story I got.
How did you feel with the third situation where there was the sound at the door?
Like I couldn't leave fast enough, and that I'd overstayed my welcome.
Okay, you've heard how various members of the staff, cast, and crew felt the presence of something supernatural or paranormal, and heard and saw the results of activities unexplained. But now we're going to show you additional evidence of those things of which we speak. The attic writer and producer Gary Lee Brooks enters in this photo. An instant later, another picture revealing a ghostly image over Gary's right shoulder, and the bony hand and fingers moving toward his shoulder. This is one of the most interesting pictures. Look to the image in the upper left window pane. See a strong resemblance to the face and hand that seemed to appear in the attic.
So the secrets here at Kemper Campbell Ranch are quite a few.
We would have to admit that, as I think it was Shakespeare said, there are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than your philosophy has even dreamt of. And I think that, at least wise on this side of heaven, who knows?
Biggest turnout of costumed contestants ever in Wheel to Wheel's 2019 Spooktacular. The highest number of entries in Wheel to Wheel's Spooktacular event, costumed characters, vying for a prize for the best Halloween costume. In fact, the highest number of costumed participants ever in the annual Wheel to Wheel Spooktacular. On the fastest 1/8 mile dirt track around, Cash Cope locks up 2 track championships, KT100 and Dirt Kart Jr. Stevie Rogers wins yet another Restrictor Main, having already sewn up the 2019 track title. The Cooner, Blaine Coon, coasts to the Dirt Kart Seniors title on a night
for a legend to begin. And on this night, this legend begins his inaugural checkered main event in a dirt cart. 8-year-old Zate Legend wins his first main event racing in the dirt cart junior class. Terry Kurtz here, throwing out an invitation for you to catch up with High Desert Sports Activity, your High Desert Sports Report, showing 3 times every day on Victor Valley TV, 7 and 11 every morning, 4 every afternoon. We hope you'll join us right here on Victor Valley TV. Triskaidekaphobia is the fear over anything 13, a reason airlines do not have a 13th row. Tall buildings often avoid a 13th story. Famous athletes who defied a negative connotation for that number include Wilt Chamberlain, NFL All-Pro Super Bowl quarterbacks Dan Marino and Kurt Warner, and Major League Baseball's Alex Rodriguez when he joined the Yankees. Softball and baseball players are notorious for being superstitious or at least bound by rituals to ensure good fortune. Oak Hill's leadoff hitter, Holly Medina.
I would say before every game when we do our prayer, I have to write my number below my cross, kiss it, and wipe it goodbye. And then I also can't wear a certain pair of pants. So performance shows that reason too.
Hesperia Christian's Aiden Ortega wears number 13 for the Patriots, obviously undaunted by any concerns of bad luck associated with the number. Hesperia Christian hosts their CIF quarterfinals game on Friday the 13th. Hopefully, I'll have a chance to ask the Patriots sophomore his feelings about his team playing such an important game on a Friday the 13th. Among the most interesting local sports stories involving 13 was when Bell Game 13 was played on a Friday the 13th. That was 1981. Apple Valley won 13-0. The Sun Devils won another Bell Game on a Friday the 13th in 2019. That score was 50-0. Terry Kurtz Online was brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville. Down Home Grill. Kids' $3 menu includes grass-fed cheeseburger, organic chicken tenders, grilled cheese with fries and berries, or salad and drink. Call 760-241-4663 for delivery. Drive-through, curbside, or pickup. Down Home Grill, corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Road in Victorville. Bid fast and last. World-class auctioneers. Bid fast and last. Liquidation of government entities, vehicles, firearms, estates, antiques, fine jewelry, coins, and more. Bid online at bidfastandlast.com.
Kick tires, start fires, kick ass, take names, and rock and roll.
Valu Quality Truck Bodies. Family owned and operated locally since 1954. Valu manufactures state-of-the-art truck bodies for the construction industry nationwide. Valu Quality Truck Bodies, proudly showcasing teams, athletes, and youth-oriented activities. The Bradco Companies. Joseph W. Brady's Bradco Companies. The High Desert Mojave River Valley's longest-standing commercial brokerage firm. Bradco, leading efforts to improve the quality of life and standard of living for all residents throughout our high desert region.
Serious legal problems? Don't go it alone. The other guys have attorneys just waiting to blow you away. Contact Iwanzak. Accidental death? Injured on the job? Contact Iwanzak. Business litigation? Vehicle accident? Unlawful detainer? Criminal litigation? Get the proper defense by going on the attack. Iwanzak Law Firm. Trial lawyers for serious problems.
Silverwood presents this online report. The developers of the Silverwood Master Planned Community support the events, youth activities, and programs of our high desert Mojave River Valley communities. We Got 'em Tees, your headquarters for custom screen printing and mastercraft embroidery designs. We Got 'em official CIF sanctioned Chanel patches for varsity jackets. We Got 'em Tees since 1984. 2 locations, Apple Valley and Upland. Oh yeah, We Got 'em Tees.
And by the Holiday Inn in Victorville. The Holiday Inn, conference and convention center for the high desert and destination of choice of visitors and travelers to the Victor Valley.
Everything's good, and I just hope, you know, Terry, at the end of the day, obviously I want people to vote for me. But at the end of the day, I want people to vote. Your vote will count.
As the November 8th election fast approaches, Victor Valley College Board of Trustees incumbent Joseph W. Brady comments on his re-election campaign.
I got a great campaign manager. His name's Drew Mercy. We've been together in 2012, 16, 18, and then this year. I mean, he kind of calls the shots. We'll do a couple mailings, you know, the high propensity voters. Signs just went up. Loyal Best, our sign guy, just got signs on up. We've got some great volunteers out there have helped. Liz Becerra, who's a council member in Victorville, she's got some signs, and Iris Gutierrez with the Hispanic Chamber, she's got some signs. My friend Frank Kelly, Frank came and picked up 100 signs. He won signs. I think John Pinkerton's picking up some signs, you know, yard signs. I think, Terry, when we take a look at where the college is today. So we're 62 years old. We're a $600 million economic engine. We employ 1,051 people. We have a 262-acre campus. I couldn't be more proud of what we have done collectively as a board. So everybody knows we had some very serious challenges. We were on the verge of, insolvency, and we were on the verge of losing our accreditation back shortly after I got on there. And the first smart thing we did is we hired Dr. Roger Wagner, and the next best thing we did was we hired Dr. Daniel Walton. So the board's getting along really well. There's three of us that are up for election, although Dennis Henderson in Apple Valley, he has Apple Valley and Lucerne. He doesn't have any opponent. Brandon Wood has an opponent who I really don't know. She's a lady down in Hesperia. She'd be really nice. I don't know. I obviously would like to be sure that Brandon stays on. He's been a great colleague. We've had our good times. We've had a couple bad times, but at the end of the day, I consider him a friend, and he'll always be a friend. And then I have an opponent who's in Victorville. She's on the city council. I think most people know who she is. Her name's Blanca Gomez. And I've opted not to get into the weeds and, talk negatively about all the stuff that she's been through. I'm more concerned about what we've done and that we keep cohesiveness, not only on the board, but more importantly, cohesiveness within our district. You've got, the council race in the city of Victorville. And as I've said to many of the candidates, the cohesiveness and keeping the team of people in place at the city, with Keith Metzler and Sophie Smith and Brian Gingler and Scott Webb and Doug Matthews and Sue Jones. I mean, the whole bunch of them. I mean, they're really, they're kind of running really well. But in their positions, no differently than at our college. You start getting instability on a board, okay? And it takes one person, then you get another person, and all of a sudden you've reversed all the work that's been done over a long course of time, okay? I love what I do. I love, last Saturday, Iris Gutierrez, who's the chairman of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, had me give some opening comments at BBC. And there's nothing better than stand in front of 125 potential clients, students, that may come there. We've got the largest high school transfer class this year coming to VBC. We've graduated our three largest classes in the last 3 years, two of those with COVID. Okay, so you've got what Dr. Dan has done out there, and Dr. Scott and Dr. Mackenzie Tarango and Jackie Augustine and the whole bunch. I mean, we are Art Lopez. People that we've got a real special team. And when you have that kind of a team, they want to be sure that they've got continuity at the board. The team that Dan has assembled, and he's been very meticulous about doing this, okay? I mean, why do we have 100 programs now? I mean, this last year we bought 2 semis. Why? Because we're going to be 80,000 truck drivers down. I mean, our aviation program, we can't graduate them quick enough. Our nursing program, we can't graduate them quick enough. So I think we're doing a great job in connecting with industry. I know with the help of LJ here in our office, we've got a lunch this month in October with general contractors and residential contractors to say, what do we need to do? So I'm very proud of what we've done out there, and I hope that I've earned the trust of people within my district. So my district is all Spring Valley Lake. and about 2/3 of Victorville. So we go from the Mojave River on the east, Bear Valley Road on the south, roughly D Street on the north. We go up to Star Wells Road and come on back down. We go up D Street to Air Expressway, kind of across to about where Phantom is and the power lines, and then we shoot straight down south to where Cobalt and Amethyst in that area down on Bear Valley Road where the power lines are. So I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. You know, you never take anything for granted. I'm proud of the work that we have done. I'm proud of the work that Jennifer Tarpley's done as president this year. She's done real well. I talked to her today, and she said, you know, Joe, the meeting that you were gone to Ireland, we had the shortest board meeting we've ever had. And I said, is that a little shot? And she said, I'm not telling you talk too much, but yeah, it was just a way of, you know, yeah. So everything's good, and I just hope, you know, Terry, at the end of the day, obviously I want people to vote for me, but at the end of the day, I want people to vote. I, as an American, I, as a citizen, are very upset with government. I'm upset with our borders. I'm upset with gas prices. I'm upset with inflation. I'm upset with crime. I'm upset. So the only way I can do something is to vote. So I ask everybody that's watching this, vote on November 8th. Your vote will count.
Nearly every edition of Terry Kurtz Online has included segments of interviews with Joseph W. Brady, whether the subject is from his position as a trustee on the Victor Valley College Board or him speaking on economic and industrial developments. To close out this edition of TKOL, I've asked Joseph W. Brady to once again reiterate political implications of OPEC's rollback and BNSF's big project in Barstow.
It's going to take, it's not only going to take patience, Terry, it's going to take, I think, you know, the city working very well with BNSF and the city leadership being stable. You know, the city's had some challenges out there. And I'll be sure to send this clip out to the council. And I would ask the council this. I know we're in an election year and we have 2 council seats up, and that's okay. But no matter what, I sat on a public board at Victor Valley Community College where we didn't get along, okay? And I saw the outcome of the fights and all the negativity. Does nobody any good. As I said to one of the council members today, I said eventually somebody on the council has to step up and say enough is enough. Extend an olive branch. You don't have to like anybody, okay? Extend an olive branch, really believe in it, and say, what are we here for? We're here for the residents of Barstow. So Saturday, October 1st, I think really started a brand new era for Barstow. And if you listen to the leaders speak out there about, it was its 75th anniversary. The city did a great job. They held it at the Harvey House. They had games and rides and food and taco trucks and vendors selling stuff. They did a really good job. For those of us that have been in the business, it wasn't a big announcement. What it was kind of the culmination of years of waiting what was going to happen. So in essence, if you know Barstow well and you know where Main Street is or National Trails Highway, and you know where Linwood Road is, if you take the area, Linwood Road is going to be the east boundary. Main Street roughly is the south boundary. The community, not Community Boulevard, but not all the way to the Mojave River will be the north boundary. But the far west boundary is going to be down a little bit past Hinkley Road, which is, 4.5, 5 miles down. Project size approximately 4,500 acres. They're anticipating 20,000 direct and indirect jobs. So I think they've got the environmental impact report stage they've got to go through. They've got the annexation. So a lot of that property is in the county. So it's got to go through the LAFCO process, the EIR process. There's no doubt there's going to be lawsuits filed by all kinds of environmental groups and extortion. I'm sure the BNSF is prepared for it. I think the BNSF did a great job in the announcement. I think the city did a great job in their announcement. Hopefully this is the beginning of a great opportunity for people to work together. Sometimes I find, and I've done business out in Barstow on and off for 30 years, I think there's a tendency for people to, not want others to succeed as well as they do. And I think, Terry, and I've always believed that if everybody succeeds, all you do is you're raising the standard of living, and then everybody has fun. So, I applaud the city manager Willie A. Hopkins Jr., the mayor Paul Courtney. I hope that the council can come together and embrace this and really figure out the strategy to facilitate this, because this has been in the works for a long time. But at the end of the day, is it going to be a great economic machine long term, and will it bring retail and industrial and needed housing and things like that? I'm really tickled pink. We have that project out at Avenue L that we've been working on for years. We got probably another year of easements to work through. God bless Barstow, God bless the residents. And really, this is also, I think that there's going to be a lot of spillover. I mean, places like Hellendale and Silver Lakes are just, I mean, they're going to do really well. And I think there'll be some opportunities on out there. And I think that it's going to afford some other opportunities development-wise. So I'm pleased for everybody.
And, oh yes, that OPEC announcement?
So when the energy policy in our country is pathetic. When the first thing that Biden did when he came in, and was to get at Trump, was to cut off the gas pipeline, what did he do? The last time I checked, whether you like Trump or not is irrelevant. This is under Biden's watch. It's not under Trump's watch. When Trump was president, we were exporting oil outside of our country, and gas prices were competitive. So do I worry about me living a mile and a half away? Terry, this bites into everybody. Think about the 85 to 90,000 commuters a day that drive up and down that hill, okay? That they don't have a choice. So the tens of millions of dollars per month that are coming right out of the pocket of high desert or Mojave River Valley residents, that should be of some concern. Sending a stimulus check to us right before the election, come on. I mean, I think we all can figure out what that's all about, so it's kind of stupid. But Biden, I think, should be held accountable. And I really do believe now that November 8th is going to be a big calling. I think it's going to be a wake-up call for our country. And if people like $8 a gallon, so we'll find out if OPEC, we'll find out how strong the relationship is with our president, who has, I think, zero in foreign policy experience. I mean, they don't even they won't take his calls, in Saudi Arabia. But we'll find out tomorrow if they roll back 1 million barrels a day, we could be looking at $8 a gallon, and you're just going to stop people from doing all kinds of stuff. So I hope that whoever is watching this, reach out to your local elected leaders. I think that Jay Obernolte, our congressman, is doing just a great job. I mean, he understands. I mean, he's a businessman. Both him and Heather have done well and all that. But we can't continue to do this, or something's going to give, Terry. I think something's going to crack. So.
Terry Kurtz Online was brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville. Call 760-241-4663 for delivery, drive-through, curbside, or pickup. Down Home Grill, corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Road in Victorville. Bid fast and last. World-class auctioneers. Valu Quality Truck Bodies. Family owned and operated locally since 1954. The Bradco Companies. Joseph W. Brady's Bradco Companies. The High Desert Mojave River Valley's longest standing commercial brokerage firm. We Got 'em Tees. Your headquarters for custom screen printing and mastercraft embroidery design. We Got 'em Tees. Silverwood. The developers of the Silverwood Master Planned Community support the events, youth activities, and programs of our high desert Mojave River Valley communities.
Serious legal problem? Don't go it alone. The other guys have attorneys just waiting to blow you away. Contact Iwanzak. Get the proper defense by going on the attack. Iwanzak Law Firm. Trial lawyers for serious problems.
And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville. The Holiday Inn, conference and convention center for the high desert, and favored destination for travelers and visitors to the Victor Valley.
Terry Kurtz here, throwing out an invitation for you to catch up with High Desert Sports activities. Your High Desert Sports Report, showing 3 times every day on Victor Valley TV. 7 and 11 every morning, 4 every afternoon. We hope you'll join us right here on Victor Valley TV.
That's a wrap on this edition of Terry Kurtz Online. On behalf of Victor Valley Television Productions, thank you for watching. We hope to see you again next time around.